When you study a new subject in depth, it is hard to identify the big ideas and make the connections that you need to make. Learning about ecology is more than memorizing vocabulary. Of all the subjects that you might study in biology, ecology makes us stand back to get the complete picture of how do individual organisms interact with one another and their environment. And remember that this is your environment too. Hi, and welcome back. On today's biology section, we're going to talk about organisms and their environments. People have always shown an interest in their natural surroundings. You may know someone that is able to identify every type of animal, plant, or rocks. Others collect data such as the rainfall or the temperature. Learning about plants and animals, where do they live and grow, what animals eat them, or what animals do they eat is called natural history. Collecting this type of data is like taking the pulse of an individual. It shows us the status or health of the world we live in. The branch of biology that developed from natural history is called ecology. Ecology is the study of the interactions between the organisms and their environments.
Scientific research includes using descriptive and quantitative methods. Ecological research combines information and techniques from many scientific fields, including mathematics, chemistry, physics, geology, and other branches of biology. Most ecologists use both descriptive and quantitative research. They obtain descriptive information by observing organisms. They obtain quantitative data by making measurements and carrying out experiments in the field and in the laboratory. Ecologists may ask questions like how day length influence plants or migrating birds.
On Earth, living things are found in the air, on the land, and in both fresh water and salt water. It extends from high in the atmosphere to the bottom of the oceans. This may seem extensive, but if we could shrink the size of the Earth into an apple, the biosphere would be thinner than the apple's peel. Although it is thin, the biosphere supports a diverse group of organisms living in a wide range of climates. The climates, soils, plants, and animals can be different in one part of the world from the same factors in other parts of the world. Living things depend on both physical or non-living environment and of other living things. The non-living parts of an organism's environment are the abiotic factors. Examples of abiotic factors include air currents, temperature, moisture, light, and soil. Ecology includes the study of features of the environment that are non-living because these features are part of an organism's life. All the living organisms that inhabit an environment are called the biotic factors. All organisms depend on one another directly or indirectly for food, shelter, protection, or reproduction. If you study an individual organism, such as the male white-tailed deer, you can learn things like what food they like, how often do they eat, how far away it moves to roam and find food. However, studying one single organism doesn't give us all the information we need to know about them. Continuing with the same example of the male white-tailed deer, they are very social animals. In fact, they live in small groups and herds in which they are a strong social structure based in visual and vocal communication. So, as you can see, studying just one individual just tell you part of the story of its life.
An individual living thing that is made of cells, uses energy, reproduces, responds, grows, and develops. A population is a group of organisms, all of the same species, which interbreed and live in the same area at the same time. How the organisms in a population share the resources of their environment may determine how far apart the organisms live and how large the populations become. Members of the same population may compete with each other for food, water, mates, or other resources. Competition increases when resources are in short supply. A biological community is made up of interacting populations in a certain area at a certain time. This community of flowers is made up of populations of different species of flowers. An ecosystem is made up of interacting populations in a biological community and the community's abiotic factors. There are two major kinds of ecosystems: terrestrial ecosystems and aquatic ecosystems. Terrestrial ecosystems are those located on land. Examples include forests, meadows, and rotting logs. Aquatic ecosystems occur in both freshwater and saltwater forms. Freshwater ecosystems include ponds, lakes, and streams. Saltwater ecosystems, also called marine ecosystems, make up approximately 70% of Earth's surface.
People may have once assumed that organisms living in the same environment were in a constant battle for survival. However, studies have shown that most species survive because of the relationship they have with other species. That relationship, in which there is a close and permanent association between organisms from different species, is called a symbiosis. There are three kinds of symbiosis recognized. These are mutualism, commensalism, and parasitism. Let's analyze them.
Sometimes two species of organisms benefit from living in close association. A symbiotic relationship in which both species benefit is called mutualism. Ants and acacia trees living in the subtropical regions of the world illustrate mutualism, as shown in the pictures. Commensalism is a symbiotic relationship in which one species benefits and the other species is neither harm nor benefit. Commensal relationships occur among animals and in plant species. Spanish moss is a kind of flowering plant that wraps itself on the branches of trees. Orchids, ferns, mosses, and other plants sometimes grow on the branches of larger plants. The larger plants are not harmed, but the smaller plants benefit from the habitat. Some interactions are harmful to one species yet beneficial to another. Have you ever owned a dog or a cat that was attacked by ticks or fleas? Ticks are examples of parasites. A symbiotic relationship in which a member of one species derives benefits at the expense of another species is called parasitism.
Now, let's make a review of the main ideas from this video. I hope you find this video useful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and until the next one, bye!